Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding the hearing today and for continuing to draw attention to the importance of critical minerals, where we get them and how they're used and whether there are substitutions. And I thank the witnesses. I think we have a good panel today. I agree with the chairman about the importance of the issue. Critical minerals are the building blocks of high technology economy, from hybrid vehicles to solar panels to iPhones to missile guidance systems. A nation that wishes to compete in high-tech, value-added manufacturing in the 21st century must have a reliable source or reliable sources of critical minerals. But of course, the term critical mineral can be a bit vague, so I think it's important that we be very clear about what it means. Critical doesn't simply mean important. There are bills that have been brought forward by the majority, including one that passed the House of Representatives, that basically define a critical mineral as any mineral that has any importance whatsoever, from neodymium to gravel. It's a meaningless definition. It ignores the other part of what makes a mineral truly critical. As the National Academy of Sciences has pointed out, a mineral is critical when it performs an essential function for which there is no substitute, and when there is a high probability of its supply being restricted by distribution, by supply, by interruption. Just to say that a mineral is critical because it's important makes it impossible to tell the difference between neodymium and gravel. Neodymium is a rare earth metal essential for wind turbines and hybrid vehicles, and we are hugely dependent on China for that mineral as it stands now. Gravel is, well, gravel. It's important, but we produce it all over the country in countless varieties. Legislation designed to make us more secure in neodymium and other rare earth and critical minerals should not rope in every other mineral under the sun or under the ground in an attempt to make it easier to open new mines. And when it comes to those minerals that are truly critical, I think that trying to open new mines is only one piece of what should be a comprehensive strategy that we should be moving forward with legislatively here. We need to find substitutes for these minerals as well as alternative sources, and we need to encourage recycling and reuse. That's why I'm excited that two of our witnesses today are doing important work in this field. Dr. Eric Peterson from Idaho National Lab is part of the Department of Energy's Critical Minerals Institute. Dr. Peterson leads the team in charge of researching improved methods for reusing and recycling critical minerals so that we might become less dependent on foreign sources and less dependent on new mines as well. Now, you'd think the idea of finding substitutes for critical minerals, encouraging recycling and reuse, making us less dependent on China, would be something that the Republicans would support. However, yesterday they voted down an authorization of the Critical Minerals Institute offered by Mr. Swalwell based on incredibly misleading information from the Heritage Foundation. Now, even more stunning is that 13 Republican members of this subcommittee, who should know better, swallowed the Heritage Foundation's argument, hook, line, and sinker, that the federal government's role in minerals should be limited to getting reserve information from the Energy Information Administration. Heritage evidently doesn't even know that the EIA has nothing to do with that. The U.S. Geological Survey is the agency responsible for that information, but they're still persuasive enough to kill a much-needed bill that we will have to make another run at. I assume we'll get this straightened out eventually, but it doesn't reflect well on this body. One of the private partners in the Critical Minerals Institute is General Electric, and we have Dr. Anthony Koo here today, who is helping to lead the work that that company is doing on mineral sustainability, on various materials. And I'm very glad to know that the private sector is putting resources into researching some of the problems, but that cannot take the place of government support for fundamental research. I believe that when we have situations like this where both the government and the private sector are working together to solve pressing national problems, we have the best chance of success, and we should encourage that. I look forward to hearing from Dr. Peterson, Dr. Koo, and the rest of our witnesses on this important subject. Thank you.